You know, I think people actually tend to, I guess, underestimate how great of a time this is to live in. If you're somebody who likes to learn, this is easily the greatest moment in human history you could have ever been born in. Because what you don't realize is that at this point in human history, it is easier and cheaper to learn than ever before. Just maybe even a few decades ago in a lot of places, if your family wasn't among the wealthy, you did not receive an education, you did not own books, you did not really learn. You learned the very bare minimum really about society and maybe a trade, and you just slaved away. But now today, with especially in the West, like here in the United States, most of the population having access to the internet and websites like Wikipedia being started, literally any information that you could possibly want to know is available to you fast, free, and much of that is due to people like this. This is a really interesting story to me, because I just, when I see this, I wonder, who could do something like this? Who could put so much time, effort, and dedication into giving other people information virtually for free? Well, it turns out that one man in Virginia actually is responsible for 1/3 of all the edits on Wikipedia. Millions of edits. 35,000 plus, I think was the correct number, original articles written by him. In reality, this man has had probably a better impact on the world than like 99.9% of all celebrities ever could. The amount of people that he has possibly educated on a topic could easily reach into the billions. As a matter of fact, Time magazine listed him as one of the 25 most influential people on the internet. For somebody who is not the president of the United States, an ultra-famous actor and author, or just some major celebrity, that is quite impressive. But it makes you wonder when you think about that. Who could possibly put that much time into it? What do they look like? And how bad is their social life? Well, today we're going to go ahead and take a look at a CBS This Morning special on the man behind over 1/3 of what's on Wikipedia.
On the grounds of one of the most historic churches in Virginia, you're hearing a rendition of an ancient Georgian solo. It's a cherished song in Stephen Pruitt's favorite place.
It's very simple. It's only one word, which means many years.
Probably not the most normal thing, probably not the thing that you would really expect him to kind of start this whole thing off doing, but it's actually an old Gregorian song that's important to the church that he's located at in this clip, that has history dating back to even the first president of the United States, George Washington. So you got a good look at him, at least initially. Now what if I told you that on Twitter there were a few posts that had been circulating before I saw this video where people were making fun of this guy. Making fun of how he looks, okay? Making fun of how he acts. Making fun of him because there's no way he could have a social life or a job or anything like that because of what he does. A lot of you might think that that's normal, but this guy is a lot more normal than you'd think.
His love of music and singing even inspired his Wikipedia username. Sir Montillo de Nicolau is his favorite opera character. It's under this pseudonym that Stephen helped reveal the untold story of Pohick Church.
I have a bunch of early American music on disc.
Oh God, here we go.
Living with his parents in the home he grew up in, he's always remained true to his interests.
How did your parents react when you first told them, hey, Mom, Dad, I edit online encyclopedia pages?
I think for a long time there was an attitude of, that's a nice idea. The boy's crazy. I don't know why he wastes his time. The boy's crazy.
Yeah, he lives with his parents and everything, and yeah, he exhibits a lot of the characteristics that you would usually, put on somebody who is kind of a loser. But this guy has done so much more than I think most people can even wrap their heads around.
That may have changed when Time magazine named him one of the top 25 most influential people on the internet, alongside President Trump, J.K. Rowling, and Kim Kardashian West.
As you saw, he was literally listed as one of the 25 most influential people on the internet. That is no small feat.
The idea of it, making it all free, fascinates me. Well, my mother grew up in the Soviet Union, so I'm very conscious of what it can mean to make knowledge free, to make information free.
Pulling from books, academic journals, and other sources, he spends more than 3 hours each day researching, editing, and writing. Even his day job is research, working in records and information at the U.S. Customs and Border Protection.
So he states that he does more than 3 hours of research, editing, and things like that per day, pretty much all for free. That's pretty noble. I mean, how many people do you know who honestly would go through and completely create basically 1/3 of Wikipedia for free? I mean, that is a very unselfish thing to do. That is something that I think is almost heroic in a way. And I think a lot of people don't really understand the true gravity of how much he's actually done, how many people he's actually educated. I mean, think to yourself, can you possibly imagine creating basically 1/3 of Wikipedia? That's just, it's not a small feat. So a lot of people seem to already have a misconception that there's no way that this guy could hold a job, there's no way he ever leaves the house, kind of thing, you know what I'm saying? As you just heard, he actually works a government job, which is pretty good work. I mean, that's nothing bad. It's not like this guy does all of his work from home or anything. I mean, he kind of does like data keeping and stuff like that at his job for the government, the United States government. So in a way, this is kind of just an extension of what he's doing all day. And honestly, I believe he's probably doing a little bit of this work at his day job as well. But I mean, as you can see, he's got coworkers that he's friends with. People understand what he does, and you know, I think that that's a good thing. Honestly, I think it's wrong for people to kind of have that misconception that just because he's a guy who really enjoys editing Wikipedia and he's really into academics and he's really into research and stuff like that, that he automatically can't hold a job, and just because he lives with his parents and stuff that he's a loser and that he's doing basically all this work for free. You know, I think that's kind of a wrong thing for people to think. Unfortunately, society doesn't really value intelligence. It's gotten to the point where, you know, kind of acting like a dipshit is just something that's acceptable. It's pretty popular. Doing research is not a popular thing. Knowing about what you're talking about is not something considered or deemed cool. I just want to let you guys know that that's not cool. You know, that's not how you should be. You should always strive to know as much as possible, and you should always try and expand your mind beyond the horizon that it's already set at. And thankfully, you live in a great time to do so because of people like this. So don't, you know, make fun of them and bully them because they're the intelligent guy who likes to write Wikipedia articles. People like this are some of the best friends you can honestly have, at least in my personal experience. Always having an intelligent friend can do a lot of wonders for you, and it can set you in a really good mindset and help you do things that maybe you didn't think you could do before. I mean, just because the guy is smart doesn't mean he can't go to work. But 3 hours a day is it's pretty impressive. It's basically a second job. Unfortunately, he's doing it for free, but as he said, he kind of enjoys the element of it being free. He says it pretty much fascinates him. That's one of the better elements of it that he likes. In a way, I almost feel bad that CBS's program kind of spun it in this way that kind of almost promotes that mindset of him being a loser off the rip. I feel like it was kind of divisive in a way, and here's why. Because a lot of people aren't going to watch very far into that segment. As a matter of fact, most of the clips that I showed you are actually in the last 60% of their little clip slash, I guess, video with this guy. A lot of people could have just saw that choir clip of him singing in that church and just turned it off and said, this guy's a weirdo, he doesn't look very good, he's gotta be a freak. And I think that that's wrong, because it's very apparent that this guy is a social guy. He's got coworkers who like what he does. He has a whole online community that basically makes him out as a hero, which honestly, he is kind of a hero. He holds a job even though he lives with his parents. I mean, the guy is doing a lot of great work. And unfortunately, I've seen a lot of, I would say, unfair and unnecessary hate towards this guy online. People making fun of his looks, no way he can be social, things like that. And to people like that, all I really have to say is like, what have you done today? Okay? What have you done in the last few years that could even ever equate to a tenth of what this guy has done for society? Because let's be honest, a lot of you are still in school, a lot of you are in college, or, you know, even for your job, really. How many of you have ever, for a project or anything really, had to go on Wikipedia to look at something? There is a 1 in 3 chance that some of the information that you're pulling and learning from that was written by this guy, okay? That's pretty significant. A lot of the people who are on here making fun of this guy and being mean to him probably have never done shit in their lives. Probably will never do anything with their lives. The most that they could ever hope for when it comes to ever having an impact on society like that is making a mean-spirited tweet about the guy, okay? The guy who has written over 1/3 of the free information on Wikipedia available to pretty much everyone around the world in plenty of language. I feel like sometimes we idolize the wrong people in society because, you know, yeah, it's great that your favorite actor has made some awesome movies that you've enjoyed over the years, but if it weren't for people like this, you might not have a high school diploma or a college degree. You wouldn't have such easy access to free information, which is a tool that is heavily undervalued in our society. I know if it weren't for Wikipedia that I probably would have had a much rougher time in school. And like I said, our culture doesn't necessarily value education and intelligence to what it should, but honestly, I think people like this are heroes, man. The fact that he spends so much of his personal time for free putting in the work to help others, okay? Without even, like, really taking credit for it. Like, he's not making money off of it. He's not out here making a huge deal out of it. If anything, CBS and everyone else is the ones making a huge deal about him. He goes by a pseudonym. He doesn't even go by his own name. He has a pseudonym under one of his favorite artists, okay? So, that's pretty noble, okay? He's done a lot of great work, and I think it's unfair to criticize him for his looks. Because in reality, the guy that you're making fun of, the one that's supposedly ugly, a loser, who has no social life, has made more impact, more friends, more success, more knowledge, and more influence than you could in 10 lifetimes. I see people saying that GoFundMes and things need to be made for him so people can show their appreciation for his work and things like that, and to put it simply, I don't think that he would want that. I think at this point, if he were in it for the money, he probably wouldn't be doing it on Wikipedia. And plus, the man has a pretty secure job. It's stable. He's got decent income. It's a government job. On top of that, he's a data keeper, which is, you know, it's a pretty niche job, I would say. So he's probably making good income. And in reality, this guy probably doesn't want a girlfriend. He probably doesn't need all these friends to make him happy. I'm sure this guy is quite content with his situation, and he enjoys his life the way that he's built it up to be. Guys, don't judge a book by its cover, okay? This guy is a member of a choir. He has plenty of friends, and he's doing great work. Honestly, I think many of you should be thanking this man for the work he's done, because chances are he's influenced your life in one way or another. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like down below. Subscribe if you're brand new around here on my channel. Follow me over on Twitter at @SubToOptimus. I post memes, thoughts, and updates over there. Join the Discord down below. Lots of great things going on there. Thank you to my channel members for your $5 a month. Your support helps my channel tremendously. If you'd like to become a member, you can do so by hitting the join button down below. And until my next video, guys, this is Optimus, editing Wikipedia, and signing out.